Hi, I'm Cole.
And I'm Grace. Welcome to the Deep Dive.
Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we take your sources, articles, research our own notes, and really try to pull out the core insights.
And today we're going deep, really deep.
Yes, we are excavating, you could say, the very bedrock of the digital age. This one fits perfectly into our AI Visionaries, the Founders playlist. We're plunging into the mind of Claude Shannon.
An absolutely foundational figure.
Right. Our mission today is, well, it's pretty clear. We want to uncover Shannon's foundational work. He's often called the father of information theory, and for good reason.
Definitely.
We'll dig into how his massive 1948 paper basically gave us the mathematical blueprint for all modern communication.
And crucially, why that matters for AI today.
Exactly. Why his insights are still so critical for understanding, building and pushing AI forward. We've got a great stack of sources, academic historians, i.e. publications, MIT archives.
Some really solid material to draw on.
Okay, let's get into it. Let's unpack Shannon.
It's quite a journey, isn't it? From these, abstract math concepts to literally the infrastructure of our digital world.
It really is. And what strikes me is how early his genius showed up.
Oh, absolutely. His academic years were really formative. He was at Michigan first, looking into symbolic logic, Boolean algebra.
Which wasn't exactly mainstream back then, was it?
Not at all. Pretty niche. But then he gets to MIT and, crucially, spends the summer of '37 at Bell Labs.
Bell Labs, okay.
And that's where he starts connecting these, abstract logical ideas to the physical world of electrical circuits.
Yeah.
Thinking about analyzing, synthesizing, switching circuits.
Now, that might sound a bit dry if you're not, say, a computer historian.
Light.
But trust us, this is where the magic starts, the big shift.
It really is. Because what Shannon did, and this is often kind of overlooked, is he took Boolean algebra, this logic system, true, false, 10, and saw it mapped perfectly onto electrical switches. On or off?
Before him, designing circuits was more art than science.
You could say that. Definitely more intuition, trial and error. You'd get these big clunky systems, probably way more complex than they needed to be. There just wasn't a unified mathematical way to think about it.
So he brought the rigor, the mathematical language to it, like turning craft into engineering.
Exactly. Turning painting into architecture, as you put it earlier. His 1938 master's thesis, a symbolic analysis of relay and switching circuits, that was it.
The revelation.
Yes. It showed so elegantly how Boolean algebra could model these circuits. Suddenly, engineers had equations. They could design, analyze, simplify complex digital circuits systematically.
Wow.
It just transformed everything. Circuit design became a science. And that, right there, is the bedrock for all modern digital computers.
And the impact was immediate. People noticed.
Oh, yeah. The sources say it aroused considerable interest. He even got the Alfred Nobel Prize in 1940 for it.
So, for you listening, every time your phone does anything logical, every calculation, every bit flooping inside the AI models we talk about goes back to Shannon realizing circuits could do logic.
That's where bits and bytes really started their logical journey.
And just to show his range, his PhD, suggested by Vannevar Bush, no less.
Right, another giant.
His PhD was on an algebra for theoretical genetics.
Which is amazing, right?
Yeah.
It just shows this incredible breadth. He wasn't stuck in one field. He saw these underlying mathematical patterns everywhere.
A perfect setup for his next huge leap, the 1948 paper, A Mathematical Theory of Communication.
The birth certificate of the information age, many call it.
It feels like it. It wasn't just another paper. It completely reframed how we think about communication itself.
He just stripped it down. So the core problem isn't about meaning or intent. It's simply getting a message selected at point A, reproduced accurately at point B.
And here's the really wild part. He said the semantic aspects, the meaning, are irrelevant to the engineering problem.
Which sounds so wrong at first glance. Communication is meaning right.
That's what you'd think. So why? Why ignore meaning?
Because you can't measure meaning easily. Not in an engineering sense. It's subjective. Shannon realized if you ignore what it means and focus on the fact that it's one message chosen from a set of possibilities.
Ah, the element of choice.
Exactly. You can quantify the uncertainty involved in that choice. The more choices, the more uncertainty, the more information is conveyed when one specific choice is revealed.
And that leads us to the bit.
The bit. The fundamental atom of digital information.
A term we use constantly.
Constantly. He defined information as this measure of choice, of uncertainty reduction. He used logarithms to quantify it, basically a way to handle exponential possibilities linearly.
Makes sense.
And the term binary digit, shortened to bit, apparently came from his colleague J.W. Tukey. It captured the idea perfectly. A device with two states, like a relay, on-off, holds one bit. N devices, N bits.
Suddenly you can digitize anything.
You got it. And from that bit, he built his famous communication model.
The source encoder channel decoder destination diagram, you see it everywhere.
It's iconic because it's so universal. Source makes the message, encoder preps it for sending, channel is the medium, decoder reconstructs it, destination gets it.
Simple, elegant.
And powerful. It allowed engineers to separate the problem's source coding, like compressing data, and channel coding, like sending it reliably over a noisy line. You could tackle them independently.
Okay, now this next part. This is where it feels like magic. The noisy channel coding theorem.
Ah, yes. Shannon's masterpiece? Maybe.
He proved that even with noise static, interference, whatever on the channel, you can still send the signal essentially perfectly, without distortion, as high accuracy as if there were no interference.
That sounds impossible, right? It goes against everything we experience with, like a bad phone connection.
Totally. How do you get perfect signal through noise?
Through cleverness, through math, specifically error-correcting codes.
Okay.
These codes add redundancy, but not just simple repetition. It's structured redundancy. They make the message self-checking.
Like how redundancy in language helps us understand speech in a noisy room. Our sources mention English is about 50% redundant.
Exactly that principle. Our brain fills in the gaps using context and redundancy. Shannon's codes do that mathematically. They embed extra bits in a very specific way so the receiver can detect errors and often fix them automatically.
Wow. And the real-world impact is huge.
Immense. Think about the Voyager probe sending back pictures from billions of miles away.
Right. The source mentioned Voyager 2 sending pictures of Uranus.
Across 1.8 billion miles. That's a tribute to Shannon. Those signals were incredibly faint, swamped by noise, but the error-correcting codes pulled the data out.
Or scratching a CD.
Yeah. You drag a knife across it, within limits, obviously, and the music still plays perfectly because the codes are correcting the errors from the damaged bits. Digital TV, too. Crystal clear pictures despite signal imperfections.
So this theorem, this idea, it basically spurred the digital revolution.
You could absolutely say that. It showed reliable digital communication was possible, even with unreliable physical components. It paved the way for everything digital, from the internet to the data pipelines feeding AI.
It built reliability into the system from the ground up.
Precisely. But Shannon wasn't just theory. He actually built stuff. Machines that explored these ideas, moving towards what we now call AI.
Right, he wasn't just in the clouds, he got his hands dirty.
He did. He worked on things like a relay circuit analyzer, a machine that can simplify circuits, find problems, early automated design, really.
And he was fascinated by game-playing machines. Chess, specifically.
Yes. He saw chess as this perfect test bed. It's sharply defined, clear rules, not trivial, but solvable. And crucially, playing it well seems to require thinking.
And its discrete nature fit computers well.
Perfectly. Rows, columns, pieces, moves. It maps well to digital representation. He was thinking about machine intelligence very early on.
And he built that maze-solving mouse, Theseus.
Yeah, the mechanical mouse. It's famous. It would explore a maze by trial and error, remember the path once it found the goal, and could even forget it.
How did it remember?
Simple relays under each square, basically remembering which direction led towards the solution found on the last successful run. It had an exploration strategy and a goal strategy.
So even back then, he's demonstrating core AI concepts. Search, learning, memory, adaptation.
Exactly. These weren't just toys. They were physical embodiments of algorithms exploring intelligent behavior, long before AI was even a common term.
And his theoretical work kept pushing boundaries, too, like the Turing machine stuff.
Right. Showing a universal Turing machine, a theoretical model of any possible computer, could be built with just two internal states, or just two tape symbols.
Which sounds technical, but the implication is.
It means the fundamental building blocks of computation, potentially even intelligence, can be incredibly simple, just those on-off bits. It defines the minimal requirements, the absolute limits and potential of computation, crucial for knowing what AI can theoretically do.
And his predictions, they were just uncanny.
Weren't they? 1949, people saw computers as calculators. Chan is talking about machines designing filters.
Designing circuits, writing phone calls, doing symbolic math.
Translating languages, making strategic decisions, composing music, logical deduction.
It's basically a checklist of modern AI fields. Natural language processing, automated design, logistics, game SI, creative AI.
Spot on. He saw beyond the numbers. He said these problems involved general principles, judgment, trial and error, a much deeper view of machine intelligence.
So who was this guy? What kind of person comes up with all this?
Shannon the man. He was
Yeah.
unique. Definitely not your stereotypical scientist locked away in a lab.
The sources paint a picture of someone incredibly playful.
Deeply playful, but also incredibly rigorous intellectually. It's that combination. There's that famous quote of his.
The one about usefulness.
Yeah. Usefulness is not my main goal. I like to solve new problems. How would you do this? Is it possible to make a machine to do that? Not because I'm going to do something useful.
I love that quote. It's just pure curiosity, isn't it? The love of the puzzle itself.
Absolutely. And his life reflected that. Even later in life, boyish 73, elfish grin, the shock of snowy hair.
And the house full of toys.
Oh, the toys. 7 chess machines he built himself, a gasoline-powered pogo stick.
100-bladed jackknife? Seriously.
Apparently, a 2-seated unicycle. Just countless gadgets and inventions.
That juggling W.C. Fields mannequin. 3-toe-back. The Roman numeral computer.
And the stories of him actually unicycling and juggling down the halls at Bell Labs.
You can just picture it.
It wasn't just eccentricity, though. Take his juggling. He built that complex, no-drop juggling diorama.
Yeah.
For him, juggling was about exploring calmness, control, balance, the underlying structure of motion.
So the playfulness fed the intellect, and vice versa.
Exactly. That blend of deep thinking and hands-on, playful exploration let him see connections others missed. He wasn't bound by, this is useful or this is how it's done. He just asked, what if? And how?
Which led to revolutions in information, communication, and the foundations of AI.
No doubt about it.
So, wrapping up this deep dive, Shannon's legacy. It's just monumental. It's baked into everything digital.
From the math behind circuits to defining information with the bit, the communication model, the noisy channel solution.
To seeing the future of intelligent machines and even building early examples, he's indispensable.
A true founder of the information age and absolutely a key visionary laying the groundwork for AI. His ideas are still incredibly relevant.
They really are. Which brings us to a final thought for you, our listener. Shannon said he solved problems not because I'm going to do something useful. He was driven by sheer curiosity. In our world today, which often seems so focused on immediate results, on utility, on the next product, the next quarter's profits, the next viral AI demo, what can we take from Shannon's approach?
That's a great question.
This pure, unadulterated passion for the problem itself. Could that kind of thinking be what fosters the really big breakthroughs, the next aha moments in AI and other fields, the ones we can't even predict?
Maybe focusing less on immediate usefulness and more on fundamental curiosity. Maybe that's the most useful thing we could do.
Something to thought about. Maybe the most profound innovations come not from trying to be useful, but from simply trying to understand.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, and share. It really helps us grow. See you next time.